So a couple of weeks ago, Evgenia and Alina both posted an interview where they talked and discussed comments that they usually get on Alina's post. Today I'm going to be breaking down the interview. I'm going to do the highlights, translating some parts of what they said, and just breaking down all the concepts. So the first part that they talked about was about how skinny Alina is. She gets a lot of comments about her body weight. Alina brushed off the comments saying that she's actually tried to lose weight for the past 2 years. It wasn't a sudden change. It was actually quite gradual. She wanted to change her body to fit the aesthetic of a figure skater. She said when she ever skates on the shows, she feels more confident. People flatter her, saying that she looks really nice. And she said as long as she feels comfortable in her body, that's all that matters. She likes the weight that she's at. She feels that she can do things easier. Then Evgenia Medvedeva asked her if she restricts herself in any way, but Alina says no, she doesn't. It's just because she's working a lot and she just forgets to eat. Because when you're in the process of working really hard, you're working something, you're focusing completely on something else rather than your hunger signals or stuff like that. So naturally, because she's working a lot and is under pressure, especially when she's got a performance or some sort of project that she's working that it requires a lot of physical activity, she doesn't eat a lot. The second topic that they moved on to was her style. She loves to experiment with her different styles, but 2 years ago she just had a more of a basic sport athletic style, but now she's really experimenting. She's hired stylists to style her, and she said that she doesn't have a specific aesthetic that she thinks of. She likes to experiment with different hairstyle, with different looks. One day she's feeling this, the next day she's feeling that. Evgenia said that usually she has a stylist, but she only uses the stylist for photo shoots or commercials, but in every day she just wears what she wants to. But with Alina said that no, she uses stylists for everything because she wants to feel more feminine, she wants to experiment, she doesn't want to always wear athletic wear. And Evgenia painted a really good picture saying that lots of people still assume that you are this 15-year-old girl in this red dress with a gold Olympic medal. Does she feel that she's always compared to this younger self rather than not growing up and being more mature? And Alina says she definitely does feel this pressure. She feels like people still think of her as this little young girl and not as a woman anymore and is growing up. And I feel like people just find it really hard to accept the fact. Alina also mentioned that she doesn't really care about the criticism that she gets, whether it be her body, whether it be about her appearance or something else, because she kind of just thinks of it as everybody else is a person that she doesn't know. So why should their opinion matter? But her biggest critic that she said is her grandma. Whenever she sees her grandma would look her up and down and say all these different things about her. What has changed, what doesn't look good. She like criticizes her, and so she's used to that. She doesn't take it to heart, obviously, but she does appreciate it. As well as she had so many comments about her lips. So she, because of the weight loss that she had, her cheeks naturally got thinner and she wanted bigger lips. So people in the comments were asking her, did she get them done or not? And in one interview, she denied it. In the second interview, she admitted she had some lips injection. And now, to clear up the air, she said she did, in fact, get lip injections. She just wanted her lips to be bigger because she just felt insecure. The third topic that they talked about is the participation in the Channel 1's Cups. So Channel 1 is where figure skaters usually are filmed. That's like the show where all the competitions. Channel 1 also have their own cup where you have like the red car, the blue car, the white car, other competitions like girls versus boys, stuff like that. And you usually have captains. And Alina was always captain. She's worked with Channel 1 for a very long time. And then she now officially kind of retired and said this was her last year of doing it, and now she's not doing it anymore. And she said there's no reason why she didn't specifically, like there isn't somebody forcing her not to do it. She just said that she's focusing on her personal projects at the minute. They're taking quite a lot of time, and that she just doesn't have time for the side projects. And Evgenia Medvedeva agreed and said that she also is focusing on her side projects as well, and they're just moving on. They gained the experience from Channel 1 and now using their skills and applying it to different aspects of their life. There was also one controversy when she was doing the first channel. Basically, she called a girl lazy, but she basically called a girl lazy, and then there was a whole controversy surrounding that. People were hating on Alina and saying that she should have said that, but she said that in the moment she didn't really think of it. They were mic'd, and it was the first time that they had these proper mics, like the one over here, and she usually is always screaming and yelling, and she just yelled that out, not realizing that she's mic'd and they might use that as the footage. And she didn't actually mean to be mean to the girl. She apologized to her, they sorted it out, they didn't really understand what this turmoil was all about. They also mentioned about star fever and if Alina ever felt that, and she said, when I was younger, it did hit me a little bit, but then she quickly realized not to behave like that. She always needs to stay grounded and always treat people with respect, always be kind to them and show mercy. Alina is coming up with a new project called Sol, which is a figure skating show, and it's actually a rock musical. And she said no one in figure skating has done this before. Everybody always thinks about classical, elegant, calm, but this time she really, with her team, thought this was a really good idea to just jazz it up, spice it up, because there's so many different shows and it's really hard to sell a lot of tickets, but this will really set them apart from the different shows. In summary, they came up with the Sol show because she was reading books and she really wanted to find her own concept, venture out. She's a producer, she's learning so much. And lots of people thought she couldn't make it. They said, you wouldn't be able to do it. You're only 22 years old. You're not going to do it. And she said, I just wanted to prove those people wrong. She wanted to do it. She's ambitious. And she said that she wants her dreams to come true. And of course, one of the biggest parts and a surprise is that Evgenia will be participating in Sol, as well as Alina is going to be participating in Evgenia Medvedeva's shows as well. So those two are going to be working on the same projects, which hasn't been happening in forever since the Olympics because they had so much tension. But now history is actually creating world peace because they are two going to collaborate, and it's just so nice to see. They also had a discussion saying about how athletes are usually thought as not educated or dumb, because Evgenia told a story when she was in this ballet opera. She was sitting next to a woman. The woman knew who Evgenia was and said to Evgenia that the ballerina over there, she's technically so good, but her face is just blank. And Evgenia tried to defend the ballerina, saying that she usually when there's something really technical, it's really hard to perform with your face because you're trying to focus on something. And then the woman just said, well, I think all athletes are dumb, and said that straight into her face. And I think Evgenia felt like there's such a stereotype with that athletes are not educated enough. And it actually all stemmed from Alina has some speech problems, as in she can't articulate grammatically in Russian. And so she kind of makes up her own words or phrases sometimes. And because she's part of the camera, she does media, journalism, people catch her out and make fun of her in that way. But she actually created her own merch and tried to make fun of herself as well, but merchandising because she's a businesswoman. But it all stemmed from that. And Alina is currently taking acting lessons, she's taking lessons on speech, and she's working on herself and working on everything. And she said that everybody makes mistakes. They talked a little bit about the acting and what she does, and she said that acting, I attended the acting, we had to talk about ourselves, and she found it very difficult because she's so introverted and she couldn't open up. She knew acting wasn't really for her because you have to really emote, you have to really express. And she felt quite insecure about that because she said she's kind of private, she's not an open book. And she didn't really know what to do when they asked her the question, well, say who you are. She was like, I'm an athlete, full stop. She didn't know what to do else, and that's that. She also told Evgenia that lots of people perceive her as very hard, sharp, very serious, very moody person, that should be avoided at all costs. But she said inside she's actually really gentle and vulnerable, and people, when she comes up to them, are really confused. They're like, whoa, we thought you were cold, we thought you weren't nice, you weren't kind. But she just has a blank expression, I guess. And that just, she says that she needs to approach them. She's not approachable. Then they talked about a topic of money and said that over on her Instagram, she can tell that she is doing very well with her life. She's shopping, she's experimenting, she's going on holidays. She's definitely earning a good income. And Alina said, yeah, well, she's working on different projects at the minute and she's trying to build up her career. She said that she experiments with different styles, and Evgenia asked her if how much money should you be earning for your lifestyle, for you to live comfortably. And she said, well, she needs to have a house, pay for a house rent, she needs to pay for the petrol, beauty stuff, consulting, different things like that to really make up her life. Then Evgenia said, with your first money, what did you buy? And Alina told a really nice story. She had this entrepreneurial skills already. She said her mum bought her this nail set. She painted nails on other people, charged them $2. And then afterwards, after those $2, she started doing makeup and started earning money and just spending on sweets and lollies like a normal kid would. But she said her first major paycheck was at the Grand Prix, which was the juniors. She got her first paycheck and she gave the money to her parents to pay off loans, to pay off the rent. And so that was held responsible. But then Evgenia said, on a deeper note, what was something that you did for yourself? And Evgenia told a really nice story where she said she went to Canada and bought this ring, and it costed about 70,000, and she bought it with her first money and she was really happy. And Alina said that she bought her car. It was a Porsche, it was a white Porsche with brown interior, and she said that she still has it till this day and she keeps it really nice. Then they talked about the family life situation and if she wants kids, if she wants to be married. And Alina said that she's right now focusing on her career. She wants to be stable, she wants to be financially secure before finding a relationship or before having a family. But she says she definitely wants to have a family, she wants to have kids. She says she wants to have a loving husband and everything like that. But she said she's focusing on her career first. And Evgenia said because Alexandra Trusova or Alyona Kostanaya are going to soon be mothers, going to have a child, and they're only in their 20s, in their early 20s. She brought an interview where Alexandra Trusova was talking about in her 20s, she is going to be in a child, she's already going to have a child, she's going to have a family, and it's very different with Alina. Alina is focused on her career first and foremost. And at the end of the show, Evgenia says that Alina needs to reveal which one is the fake comment, and it's usually Evgenia that writes the fake comment and she needs to guess. Alina guessed it correct, and Evgenia never thought that Alina is going to be on her show, but as part of the show, she gives out silver medals to the people that guessed it correctly. And it just happened so that she gave 2 silver medals to Alina, and it was kind of an irony because obviously the silver represented her Olympic silver medal that she didn't win, and Alina won the gold. And they made a joke, Alina made a joke saying that she's going to put it right next to the gold Olympic medal. They laughed it off and they finished the interview. And that is how it happened. I really hope you guys enjoyed this summary. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you for my next video. Mwah.